The first graph is constant opportunity cost graph. The opportunity cost for each truck is give up by 2 cars. And I can we can see in the graph that point A means the resources is not used efficiently. Point B means it's used efficiently. Point C is not possible to produce that amount of car at the same time to produce that amount of truck because there's no enough resources to produce kind of production possibility curve is called the increasing opportunity cost graph. We can see in the graph the pizza and the truck are using different resources, which is different from the first graph. The car and the truck use the same resources, such as the land, labor, or capital. And for this graph, at the beginning, the opportunity cost for each truck is kind of low, which is like 3 pizzas for 2 truck. But at the end, for each truck, the pizza goes to extremely huge number cost. Another thing I want to point out is that the graph on the left and the graph on the right are different. As you can see, this one is consumer good and this one is capital goods. The first graph is focusing on the consumer goods instead of focusing on capital goods, as it shows in this graph. And I mean, as your capital goods increase, by the way, the red line means the future curve. As your capital goods increase, your technology increase, which means your consumer goods are also increase. So there's a big difference between those two. This is another graph I want to show. This is an output graph, and for example, Japan could make 30 computer and 20 apples at its limiting resources, and Thailand could make 10 computers and 40 apples at its limiting resources. And we can see that Japan has absolute advantage in making computers, and Thailand have absolute advantage in producing apples. And for the opportunity cost, we can use OOO, which means output other over, and to calculate that for each computer made by Japan, there has an opportunity cost of 2/3 apples, and for each apple made by Japan, there's a 3/2 computer being cost. For Thailand, for each computer produced, there's a 4 apples being cost. For each apple produced, there's a quarter computer being cost. Therefore, Japan has comparative advantage in computer, and Thailand has comparative advantage in producing apple.